You were part of our lives on Saturday. As yesterday, I could only do a short video, but on Saturday we came out and I talked about the bullish push that I completely expected. I would have been, in fact, surprised if it didn't have this kind of bullish momentum. In the short term, we talked about a few different things that we'll go over, but we'll look at also the problem that I had even before we had to move up, and what I think is going to end up possibly being our downfall here soon, but not yet. It's nice to see some bullishness. It's nice to see a little bit of positivity. Let me grab my phone charger because I had it and I set it down when I brought something. I just started my live.
Oh, sorry.
Julie's feeding tea.
Oh, okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
But welcome everybody. We're here this morning. My son, he's home from school. He had a double ear infection, so I wasn't able to do this yesterday. I mean, he's in good spirits. Just gonna take a few days. But what we talked about on Friday or Saturday, the last time we were together, let's take a look. For some of you who were here in the live, we talked about XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum short squeeze coming. This is Ethereum clears downside liquidity. So we tried to talk some bullishness on Saturday, not because I thought it was going to continue for like the macro view, but I did think we were rather oversold. I thought we had an opportunity for a short squeeze up, which is what we're doing right now. Bitcoin's up to over 114K. Now, the biggest factor here is Bitcoin's left the CME gap at 110K. So if you're into the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, if you understand that, basically from when it closed down Friday and opened up early this morning, there's been a big gap left of it. It's about $4,000 right now. So it's just something we're going to have to pay attention to as this progresses. Do I have a lot of optimism in this move? No. Am I glad that it moved up? Absolutely. Look, there's already 70 of you here because it's green. When it's red, it starts out with about 30 people. You know, people have more interest this morning, so we'll be able to have a more active discussion. But at the same time, I was looking for this move up to validate potentially a further move down even. But if we could get out of our own way here and break past these higher resistance, we could 100% change this narrative and start pushing out. So I'm glad that we at least started pushing out. Now we've got to clear the optic here, getting above the 200-day. I said 295 on Saturday, which I still think because of that area all the way to 298, you could have an overextension here and not necessarily break out. But the daily was really oversold on Saturday, and it's like looking at these, the 4-hourly was really oversold. Now it's kind of the opposite. It's brought back up here. And since Friday into Saturday, now you see how this has worked itself up, especially as we progress into Saturday night and early Sunday and now into Monday. We put ourselves in a very highly elevated area. Last time we were this elevated was last week in the 4-hourly, and you see how we came down from $3 down to $270. But at some point when you break a structure, we're going to have a broken structure breakout at some point. It just hasn't happened yet. So, and if you look at it, here's what that chart's great, but this is the back test area. This is a great way to look at this. And then an even better way is to see what we're stuck inside. Whoops, sorry, wrong one. To see what we're stuck inside of. And it would be, whoops, right here. And we pushed up above this. So this is where it gets interesting. This is why we need to know, are we back testing the move out? Are we on the verge of something even bigger that can bring us up into the 306, the 330, and ultimately into that $3.70 range? Or is the market set up more like this to where, yeah, it looks good, but we're actually back testing a broken move? So it's completely up to you how you look at this. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong until we get the further evidence. Like, we need the data. And unlike the Fed, we're actually looking at real data. So when it happens, and that's why 228 I've said is the breakdown short-term target, because if this part gets rejected, and the 4-hourly is rather overbought, so Um, do we have volume on XRP? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. Absolutely zero. Zip. Zilch. To put it in perspective, there was on this exchange in the 4 hourly on the dump down, we had 4.49 million on this nice candle surging up, 422,000. Does that sound like anything impressive? And that's over 3/4 of the candle already put in. So, no. The other thing that I look at that makes me a little bit concerned here about the push up, one, that CME gap is definitely the concern. Two is the fact that Saturday, when we talked about this in the live, and I said I expect us to go up, I expect Bitcoin at 115K, I expect XRP either 291 or 295. You know, the reason I said that is because those were the back test numbers, and we were oversold. We were massively oversold. Those same time frames have flipped to massively overbought. It's dangerous because tomorrow we've got a whole bunch of, and I don't know how much stock to put into this, but a whole bunch of different generals and people of interest in the higher governments around the world, basically the Fed induced, of their own central banks. They're putting together a plan right now, and they're all meeting tomorrow, and it's going to be for the expansion of war, coupled with higher devaluing in the dollar, gold and silver simultaneously. I mean, this is a perfect recipe for a trap here this week, and I hope I'm wrong. Like, it's nice to see the portfolio going up. Copy trading, for whatever reason, hasn't been working. I'm working with them, so I mean, if you're interested in copy trading, you have anything. I've lost $126 trying to fix this problem of why copying or anybody in that fact. And from the buying and selling, it's cost me $126 so far. So that kind of sucks, but 126 is $126. So, but I'm willing to keep working with it until it goes properly for when the time is right. But one of the other factors here that I find a bit concerning is the fact of this, and it's good for us, but gold's up $67 today. While the dollar's down 0.25% and slipped back below 98, we've also got, and in the miners, they didn't really move yet. So I'm waiting to see if this, what's going on here, but silver's back up 2% this morning, almost to 47. If trading with J-Red's in here, he's going to be ecstatic to see B2 gold's over $5. And I remember when we started buying it at 230, 240, 270, 280. We talked about that $5 magical number because once it gets on top of there, it goes quick. If it holds, and now it's amazing to see that. First Majestic is almost up to 1250. Pan America is almost up to 39. Silver's up almost 2%, pushing that $47 range. Fortuna's up about, not much, up to 872. Hekla's just below 12. You got Silver Corp up about 1.8%. Good to see Dolly Barton up 3% and breaking over that elusive $5 level finally. It's incredible to see this happening in real time. And Silver Corp firmly on top of $6 now. Just unbelievable. I remember when Silver Corp was just trying to break past 450. And I remember just not too long ago, we were talking about Dolly Barton at $3.75. It's moving quickly in the metals markets. So yeah, it's we're in an interesting time now. So getting through that, because I don't want everybody to leave because we're talking about the precious metals and the metals and blah blah blah. But looking at crypto, we'll take a very deep look here. We'll start with XRP. We'll look at the ups and downs, left and right, possibilities and impossibilities. So good morning. 11:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, September 29th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. The other thing I didn't talk about for XRP, the key, we have an escrow dump this week, which was another reason why I thought that XRP would have a run up here, you know, in the early part of the week, because it gets better pricing for the escrow dump. Or you have that immediate run up, and then when it pulls back down, you're not really losing any value. So, oh, Mr. Stott, that's going to happen, as we know about the Beam and Blue project. You know, decipher what I just said. So yeah, pay attention. But commodities are definitely doing great. Another bright spot here is I'm looking at Dan, welcome in. Jason Whipple, thanks for being in Tom's Zone for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Ben, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Zone for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. In my father's kitchen, good morning. Mark Casson, thanks for being in Tom's Zone for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Robert, good morning. Mr. Stott, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Zone for 2+ months, or second month with Dust Hours Crypto News, along with Mrs. Stott. And yes, Little T, he's home today. He went up to urgent care yesterday, had a double ear infection. And it started Wednesday when he had the low-grade fever, and then he was okay for a couple days, but we knew on Saturday, so his chest was fine. He didn't have any labor and breathing, so it's all stemming from the upper respiratory, like from his ears, nose, and throat, the congestion. So he's on an antibiotic. He had a feeding last night that he kept down, which was good. He ate last night on his own, which he kept down. He slept great last night. He's still congested. My mom just got here. I didn't even realize she was coming over this early, and he's in good spirits. He wanted to go to school, but he can't because they have obviously I'm not sending him to school when he sounds the way he does, but you also can't send a kid to our school 24 hours within having an antibiotic taken. So there's no way he could have went today anyhow. He's got another doctor appointment Wednesday at his pediatrician. It'll be used as a follow-up, but it's also so we can get the ADOS testing and all this other crap, his 6-year checkup, all the nonsense you go through. You start a new school year, so. But it's actually perfect timing because it's 72 hours after his confirmed double ear infection, so at least we can have a look to make sure it's going in the right direction. So chances are we would have made an appointment anyhow for 72 hours later, because just depending on how it progresses, it's always good. So we'll see what happens. But I appreciate you asking, Mrs. Stott. Glenn and Craig Carlson, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Zone for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. Sola Jeffy, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Zone for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Jason Whipple, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Zone for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. 3 months with the XP Meteor. And good morning to you, friend. Ben Graham, good morning, along with Matt Grimes. Ron Crow, thanks for being in Tom's Zone for your second month with the Dust Hours Crypto News. Shane, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Zone for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Aurelie, good morning, along with Robert Ferretti. Vado Damas, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Zone for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge, along with Bob Bertner. Joseph Euler and Crypto Cooter, thanks for being in Tom's Zone for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And Crypto Cooter, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Brian Crow, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Zone for your second month with the Dusted Out Crypto News. Let's see. Syrian, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Zone for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge, and thanks for being a very trusted mod in here as well in the Telegram. It means a lot to me. Matt Grimes says we need regs or Trump to get no tax on American-made crypto. That would be a nice catalyst. We also need simultaneous rate cuts and quantitative easing. It's the only way out of this mess. But the regulations, I don't want regs. Let me be honest. I do not want regulations. That's a further kick in the nuts, and that's going to be my exit out of crypto when they fully regulate this market. All of us have been brainwashed and they're begging for regulations. Listen, everybody, I'm not getting mad, but I'm going to say this as straight as I fucking can. What was the reason we started trading crypto? Can anybody even remember what the fuck the point of crypto was all this time ago? To get away from government overreach and regulations. Now what the hell are you begging for? Government overreach and regulations. How stupid are we? Haven't we learned anything from pissing our country away? Go ahead, piss crypto away, then it's on to the next. I'm telling you, by 2028, at the end of the year, it's over. Everybody thinks we're going to have this big grand rising in 28. We're going to have this big grand falling. There's a reason why all these XRP on the end of the year in 28 are allowed to be all pushed onto the market at once. So just understand what you're begging for. You're begging for your own coffin. So everybody who keeps asking for regulations pisses me off that we got so bamboozled, that we're so stupid, that we just beg the government to fuck up everything, and we beg them for it. Hey, give us regulations in an unneeded regulated market. Who do you think's stealing everything from you? Who do you think puts all these back-end hacks available? Who do you think puts all this in? Who do you think pays people to hack? It's not just a simpleton. Everybody thinks it's just you and I doing it. It's not. These are government, I can't even talk about it, but we're being infiltrated and being taught to believe one thing, and it's completely fucking asinine. Why would you trade crypto if it's a regulated market? Go trade the stock market where your money's guaranteed. Doesn't even make any sense. You know what really grinds my gears is the uneducatedness of Americans and folks around the world. It fucking grinds my gears. And I'm not mad at anybody. And I'm mad at everybody at the same time, including myself. God, are we stupid. So stupid. Brent, welcome in. Matt Grimes, Scotty Trades, good morning. Eva Molina, welcome, and thanks so much for being in here. This seems right for this to double bottom at 260 with the box. I agree with you, Eva. And down to pace possibly 230. The target would be 228. So I definitely agree with you. Let's see. Sad Jamalkin, welcome in. Long time. I'm glad to see you back in here, my friend. And you've been in here for a while because you have the last name of my mom's side. That's how I remember you. And it's spelled exactly the same. S-A-A-D. That's my mom's maiden last name. Well, back to what it is now. Messi, welcome in. Jim Cramer said to buy crypto today. Well, that's a good sign to get the hell away from crypto today. Let's see. The Cannabis Podcast, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army 6+ months with the XP Predictor. The Gatman, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hand Badge. Excellent. Dan Marginal, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XP Media. If there's one reason to subscribe to my channel, you're going to get the truth. I've been doing this since March 24th of 2021. I've been here every single day. Today's tough because my son's sick, but with my mom being here and Julie in there, it's like, she's like, do your work. And I'm like, okay, I will do my work. I worked out this morning. Well, I've already worked out twice this week, so I didn't even take 2 days off. I worked out yesterday. And then I did a walk and got my mental self right. And I look at the charts and I'm like, here we go again. It's like exactly what I said on Saturday. If I was going to dump the market on everybody, this is exactly what I would do. So for that reason and that reason alone, I'm not buying shit. If I have something, I have it, but I've got a lot of capital. Like, I'm talking over $20,000 that can be employed. And I'm not even comfortable doing it right now. So I'm going to let the market grab me by the nuts and force me to do it. That's all I'm going to say. So that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. And it's despicable what I feel about the market. But no, I mean, the other thing about Trump is, you know, remember, guys, it's all politics. You know, stop blaming Trump or stop giving credit to Trump. Just look at the moment you start understanding it's the central banks controlling the puppet's hand, it's going to be so much easier. You know why you guys have so much faith in the economy? Because you have faith in Trump. He wouldn't be there unless it was going to, guys, I'm running an office to devalue the dollar. I want interest rates negative. I want to do quantitative easing. Yeah! Guys, that means your dollar's devalued. You have no savings rate. And we're going to go further into debt, but we're cheering for it. What do you think's going to happen to prices? If you're running a company and you continuously go farther and farther into debt, for my business owners out there who root for this shit, what's going to happen to you? Like your crypto portfolio. What if you start borrowing margin? Okay? And you keep borrowing margin. Now all of a sudden you got margin payments just to keep the margin open. I'm telling you, the first time crypto crashes to 70K, we're going to have a big fucking problem with all these companies that are over. I'm telling you right now, and I've been saying it for 9 months. There's a reason why I sold 75% of my crypto in January. And yeah, there were times when we took advantage of some runs up. Like Band was a nice example. MXC, there was a few times. ZBAC, there's been examples of when we could trade in and out. Not right now is not a trading time. This is not a trading time. This is sit back, relax, and you wait until we either get confirmation of the breakout into alt season or the breakdown into a further bear cycle until the mid-November. It's all you need to do right now. Jim Cramer said to buy, I would be going as far away from crypto as I can with my liquid cash. Would I be buying miners? Probably not. And I know that's contradictory of what I've been saying, but we're overbought. No sector can elude the overbought. I almost feel like we're setting up for a big, overwhelming like a cyclone. Where, yeah, crypto dumps, precious metals clear out the RSI a little bit. But I think we're going much higher from here still. But what I'm saying is at this exact moment, we are legitimately in a weird spot. We've gone up from $26 to 47 almost on silver. We've gone up from under 2,000 to almost 4,000 in gold. Barrett Gold was at 15, 14 in January. It's at almost 35. B2 Gold in January was under $3. It's over 5. Silver, yeah, Pan America was at like 20. It's almost 40. First Majestic was at under 5. It's almost 12.50. Fortuna was at 4.50. It's at 8.73. Might have even been lower because at one point it was down to 2.50. I can't remember if it was last year or the beginning of this year. Hecla was under 5. It's almost 12. Silver Corp was under 4. It's over, or well, it was about 3.75, It's over 6. Dolly Varden was at like 3.25 or 2.75 back then. Now it's over 5. So it's like we're at a completely different spot. As to where crypto, you'd be like, okay, well, while those are surging, crypto's just dumping out the... Michael says, good morning, Tom. Good morning to you and Poppy Lou, and thank you both for being part of Tom's Army for 3+ months with the X-Free Meteor. No, I get it, Mr. Stott. Trump said no tax on OT, and it's no tax on OT for people making less than 90K. Well, yep, that's what ends up happening. You know, but overall, the markets are going to go. But I told Julie this morning, I looked at it, the NASDAQ was up 210 points. Dow was up. S&P was up. And I go, Julie, they trapped everybody this morning. I go, that Dow is going to reverse so quick here this morning with that setup. And now it's down almost 80 points. The NASDAQ's flipped by almost 100 points here very quickly. S&P's down, only up 0.25% now. And they were ripping this morning. Something ain't right here. Something is not right. It's not right. Look at when the proposal deadline is for the Franklin Templeton ETF. They'll decide on ETFs in October, but the deadline is November 14th. When have I been talking about the breakout in crypto? What's the date? November 15th. So potentially impacting XRP trading activity. The deadline is November 14th. Interesting. It's very interesting what's building here. So I'm not going to hold my breath here. I'm going to, in fact, go the other way. Like the guru's pissing me off lately. So Mr. Guru, if you're watching me right now, I doubt you do. But then again, your charts do astoundingly end up looking a lot like what I say after you're wrong a lot of. Anyhow, he said to sell. He's not buying. He's waiting for this whole thing to play out. He showed the rising wedge. And then after it goes up, he tells everybody he buys. And then he comes back on and said he sold. And now, again, 8 to 10 hours later, he says, I bought. Like, get out of the micro if you're going to be an influencer and get into the reality of the moment. When you start doing this buy and sell, you're costing yourself, you're making tax and all this crap. Like, either you're in for the long haul or you're not right now. This is not a trading time, period. This is not a time to do 10 and 20x. I don't really care what anybody says. This is the time to understand what's going on. No, they didn't, the Cannabis Podcast, because it's all bullshit. This whole crypto narrative is all horseshit that they've been telling us. I'm telling you. I've been talking about this since 21, and this is not. They even said with the crypto they have, it's going to be what was seized. How obvious is it that this is the biggest Ponzi scheme, especially with Bitcoin, in the history of man? You think the dot-com bubble was bad? Oh, man. Oh, you couldn't even imagine them taking out this much capital against themselves to buy crypto. I mean, holy hell. Haven't we seen this before? History doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. We're rhyming with the dot-com bubble right now. I showed a stat that should make everybody petrified in my Telegram, and I think I shared it in here too. I can't remember. I shared this. So look, in the stock market, the top 10% largest U.S. stocks now reflect a record 78% of market cap for the U.S. stock market. This exceeds the previous record set in 1930s by 3 whole percentage points. This is also above the peak of the 2000 dot-com bubble when the percentage was 74%. It's 78% right now. And just like crypto, the top 10% of crypto tokens control the other 90% of the market cap for the most part. And in crypto's case, it's like, yeah, it is. Not even the top 10%. It's the top 0.1% that control the other 99.9%. By comparison, in the 1980s, the weight of the top 10% was below 50%. Meanwhile, the top 10 stocks as a percentage of the S&P 500's market cap is at a record 41%. So the 41% of the market cap of the S&P is by the top 10 stocks. That's horrible. The market has never been so concentrated. And then I put US bubbles, pop the balloon, oh my God, crash, crash alert. And then I talked about the short squeeze at 9:07 a.m. on Saturday because it was cleared out for Ethereum, and it talked about possible trip back to 48. But the first point we're coming up to now, as you can see in the lower boundary, we're coming up to there, somewhere above 42, 42.50 maybe, possibly extending out to 43. We came up to that area now. Now the question is do we even have enough strength to come any farther? I mean, with what I'm seeing, if I didn't know any better, I don't like this one bit. Don't like this one bit. That volume to me is just ridiculous. How is this possible? On the dump candle, just put it in perspective, on the dump candle, and you tell me if we have volume, 8.45 million on Ethereum. The other dump candle here, we had 4.45. On this reversal candle is good. I mean, at least we had 2.5, but now on this daily candle, right now we're at, what are we at? 2.55, and we got 8 hours left. So, I mean, if you do this cumulatively, maybe we get the 3.1. Maybe we get to, if we get lucky, we get the 3.7. Still going to be a very underwhelming candle. Then you start looking at this from the other perspective. Daily Ethereum is breaking a little out of the oversold. But this tells the true story. We are so massively, once again, in the overbought. And we've been extending out since Saturday now. We've extended out since my live on Saturday, and we finally started pushing up. And it's such a kick in the dick. Because in the weekly, we're pushing down. And it's obvious. And we need to. And we've needed to. We need a clear out. And you can see the moving average convergence divergence continues to press towards an oversold scenario. We continue to press down. So I just want to make sure we're aware of what's going on here. Bitcoin has an opportunity, and it's not necessarily done yet because it could come up to 115 too. But remember, we've already tapped that in the 2 weeks ago in the weekly. The weekly is pushing up, but it seems to almost be breaking back below that weekly trend. The daily is going to leave us in an interesting spot because we're starting to break. 4 hourly, it got overbought very quickly, but to a too big of an extreme level. 4 hourly, we got a little bit of volume. We got to get over 115 too to start pushing past this area, and then this is where we could get the optic of, hey, maybe we can push out to 126, but we got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. I'd be coming in here looking for education instead of looking for education opportunity instead of looking for a quick trade. If you're looking for a quick trade in this market, you're going to get depleted. You're going to get depleted. Now, yes, could you have took a swing on Saturday while everything was down in the red when I talked about this move up that happened? Yes. But how much room did you really have? A few percent? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So, it's just not worth it. We've been trying to not encourage them to run in circles because it made them spit up.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
You gotta go stuff. You want to play with bubbles?
But we've got.
Bubbles. You want to play some bubbles?
Oh, Mom, in the cupboard?
Yeah.
The bubble makers are up in there. And then there's.
I'm a little afraid because of his ears and there's a lot of wetness. So. Oh, Daddy's working.
Hi, buddy.
Say hello to everybody, Tommy. Say hello.
Hi. I'm okay.
Say good morning.
I can go outside. I can take this outside, buddy.
Oh.
I'll take it outside.
Oh, you kicking Daddy out?
Hold on, everybody. I'm going to take this outside.
Yeah.
Because he's got his ear infection, so I don't want to be too loud. But I still don't want to end this. We got about a half hour, if not more.
Where's my baby?
I'm going to go outside, T. Don't you worry, buddy.
Yeah, it's just me and Tommy. Me and my baby. Grandma got to pick this stuff up so we can walk around. Yeah.
Be aware of my desk here, Mom.
Okay.
Just so that he doesn't run into it. I'll move it after.
Okay, babe.
All right. Did it really just stop my live? It might have just kicked me off my live, isn't it? There's 140 people in there. Both came out. They both came out. I don't know if this is still on here or not. Can you guys still see me? Let me turn my phone on. Oh, good. It kicked back in because it made the noise like it was kicking me off. So this is great. Let me pull it up on my phone so I can see comments so that I don't have to keep it blocked on the screen, because I don't want you guys to have to see through the comments. Yeah, because my phone kicked off of Wi-Fi for some reason. No, I have it on the Wi-Fi outside, I think. Oh, whatever. It's connected to, I think, the 5G the extender. So I'm just pulling this back up on my phone so I can see everybody's comments. So let me turn this off so you guys don't have to see all the comments that are going through here. I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you want to hear more or less based on the semi, but if you want to see more outside of just the lives, I encourage you to join Tom's Army and get in the exclusive Telegram. You can get that link if you join Tom's Army. It becomes available to you in the YouTube members only section. So let me go through these comments still. Small pump this morning. Apparently shutdown talks are postponed, but Senate claims will avoid a shutdown. We're always going to avoid a shutdown. We're never shut down. We don't shut down. All we do is we expand the national debt. Remember what Trump said? If we shut down this time, everybody's fired until they come back, so no one's getting paid to sit at home. So of course they have some kind of momentum here today to make a vote to not shut down. We have been getting a squeeze up. Not soon. It's happening as we speak. The squeeze up is already happening. XRP's gone from $2.70, low 270s, back up. This is a squeeze. We're squeezing. Make no mistake about it, we're squeezing. We're all the way down to 270. We're squeezing. Unless this is meant to be the actual push, this is nothing more than a squeeze. And we'll find out soon enough. We don't have any volume, which is going to be a problem. But we could still find our way up higher. We've talked. I'm convinced that it's just going to happen here yet. You know, we got to see it play out. I'm not convinced. We'll see. But the area is right around, whoops, let me go to the other chart. Right here, 291 would be the first actual rejection point. That's your first real rejection. That's why I have a couple different ones I look at. And Nick is right. If we go down to 106, it's going to clear out a lot of liquidity. You know, my problem is, are we going to be able to hold? I don't know. I don't know. And if we go to 106, does that allow XRP to have a formidable breakdown to 228? Again, I don't know. All we can do is look at what we see in front of us and see how this is going to play out in some sense. So it's going to be tricky here the next couple days. If I'm not in the market, I'm waiting for validation of a breakout. And if I'm in the market, I'm not, I mean, if you're in the market, you're in the market. You're waiting for alt season. Whether that means we go down 30% or not, you're waiting for alt season, so you can't just get out. Because if you're buying here right now, you're telling me that you think alt season is going to start. If you've already bought, you're telling me that you're waiting for alt season. And there's no right or wrong answer here. Like, there really isn't. Because just as easy as it looks like it could go down, it could go up. It's just right now with all of the market things that are happening, with all of the narratives right now in the world, and with Jim Cramer coming out this morning apparently and saying to buy crypto, everything is pointing to the fact that you should not buy crypto this morning, but you never know. Yep, and the Social Security, some people said threatening. Remember, this isn't Trump, though. You guys are giving the Fed and the central banks a pass. You really think it's Trump doing all of this? Like, give me a break. After all these years, we're still this uneducated, not to know the central banks control the countries. And if you're a sitting president in the United States, or a king, queen in other countries, blah, 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 however they do their own things, because they have the overreach of the central bank and they made the bigger of the two agreements between the two candidates. Come on now, how do we not know this already? We don't talk politics here for a reason, because everybody on every side is wrong unless you're on my side. And if you're on my side, you understand the puppets don't matter and it's the central banks. But yes, the United States of America, don't just say Trump, The USA, put the blame where it is, the country, the central banks of America, not just Trump. Because see, what you do by saying Trump is you let off the hook the USA and the central bank of the USA, which is the Fed, because, oh, it's Trump. Come on now. If Biden did the same thing, you'd be praising him. The ones who are wrecking Trump. And if Trump did what Biden did, you're going to praise him when you fucking said Biden was an idiot. So, I mean, the truth is there is an attack on Social Security. And the raise in Social Security got over 100% depleted because the Medicaid costs went up. So what they didn't tell you is with your nominal increase on your Social Security, they raise your Medicaid costs more, which you have to pay. If you're in Social Security, you have to pay for Medicaid. So every time you get a bump in pay, they raise your Medicaid premium up to surpass your raise. So that is true. But stop letting the country off the hook, for God's sake. And I'm going to stop talking about this because a lot of people are leaving. One, because YouTube tried to kick me off. And two, just because people don't like this. They want to hear crypto. But, you know, that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at. Let's see. Nick, I agree with what you're saying. Thank you, everybody. I'm still here. I appreciate you saying that I was still on. Make sure to hit that like button too if you're watching. So yeah, I've got a couple of things that I'm dealing with today with my son being sick. So things aren't, you know, 100% easy right now. But my mom's here, so she's hanging out with them. So I wanted to do this live this morning. I highly doubt we're gonna have one tonight. If I'm being realistic, it's just not gonna happen. I'm going to turn the comments back on. It's just too hard to look at the phone. If it even does it. See, now it probably won't even show the comments. But Bitcoin, we could come up to 115.1 for that resistance. That's what I would be looking at if we're looking for this continuation to see why we would do it. It would be right around 115,200. If it doesn't break that resistance and start pushing up, this would be building the right shoulder of a big topping reversal. And that technical target leaves you into two areas. It can bring you down to 91,495 where that old gap was, or the technical target of a breakdown of this rising wedge, if we don't come up any higher, is technically still 81,505. So just please be very aware of what's going on here. In the 4 hourly with Bitcoin, we're doing what we should be doing right now. We're doing what we should be doing. We're trying to come up and see if we're going to be bullish or bearish. This is where we need to go. Massively overbought in the stochastic. Nice little flow in the 4 hourly for in the MACD. So just something to pay attention to. In the very short micro, we can still have this push up. I think Ethereum's 4,003 something if we continue this push up. 4,385. So we'll see. Lot to decide here. Lot to decide. XRP, the best I can show you this is we're up at that first rejection point at 291.95. And then it's also a little interesting because if you look at it from a slightly different perspective of the pattern we were stuck inside, now all of a sudden we're on the top side possibly, and we're back testing 288 to see if we can start pushing up a little bit. So there's a lot going on here. If it's me, I'm sitting back, I'm waiting for the market to dictate a further response, just because there's no reason to get yourself trapped here over a few percent. If in fact, you know, this is just a, let's just call it a bull trap here, if it is. But if it breaks out farther, we'll be happy because we'll see the next level. We'll see the confirmation, but we haven't been followed up by a lot of volume. We need some kind of catalyst here to help surge this market. Where? I've been hearing corn down there too. Is it big? Was it really? Where? Holy crap. So, a funny story. I was growing corn in the backyard where the animals ate, and they're all gone now. I think I deterred them. But the squirrels and stuff are out front, but when we were feeding them the feed with the corn and the sunflowers and the bird food and the stuff for the squirrels, I've got corn now that popped up all over my yard. And out by the front, there's like hairs that are growing because the corn's growing within. We had sunflowers grow from the feed, which is cool. So isn't that kind of funny how that happens? So it all has to come from somewhere. But let me look at my phone to see if I missed any comments. Huh? Oh yeah, we can look at XRP Healthcare, absolutely. Oh, Shane, we'll look there. It's up a nice amount today. It's up 13% at what? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what XLR is. I don't know. I would have to look at it. The comments don't show on yours, Dan or G-Stot. Try to reset. I've been having problems with mine as well. Right now, XRP Healthcare is up about 13%. It's had a nut, and I mean, if you're playing a potential buy, I mean, it had a overzealous back test, you know, and it's been in this pattern since the breakout back in December. So you've had to wait all the way into here where we've got confirmation out of a back test. The problem is we're way overbought in the daily, but in the smaller time frames, you look at it again. Look how overbought we went so quickly, as a matter of fact. So at some point, this will break out. But just be very aware, this can go until October of next year and get you all the way back down to 1.7 cents on the same consolidation. So, I'll take a look at it, Winford. I'm going to take a screenshot of this on my phone so I can remember. So XCL, I'm going to put that in the old database. But look, the other thing that I don't like here is in the weekly even, we have these crosses where a perfect rejection would be up around 6.1, and it's going to continue to trend lower. Axelar gave it all back already. It was up. Now it's all the way back down again. And I said I'd pay attention to Axelar, but I'm not buying until it gives confirmation. There's a lot of things. Epic is another one that I have very high hopes on, and it bounced off the support like it should have. Now are we going to get a rejection? Are we going to come back up to 216, or are we just going to fall through to 95? Daily suggests it's going to be hard to just fall through, but 4 hourly is massively overbought again. It's amazing how fast these are moving into overbought. It's because we don't have the proper volume portfolio. Stochastic is going out of whack so quickly because we really don't have volume.
I'm cleaning up a little bit.
Okay. But in the gold market, we can see we're up $70 an ounce, which is phenomenal. I don't even remember the last time B2 gold was over $5. Like, honestly, it's still like, holy crap, I can't believe we're there right now. Technical run up is $5.95 from the breakout hold. Everything's going within pattern. It's all playing perfect. It's all doing what it needs to do. The last time we were at $5 was in 2022 in April. We haven't been returned there for almost 3.5 years. Wow. Oh man, it's incredible to see all of this. And I know everybody, oh Tom, it's just going to dump on Monday, the metals, and it's like we haven't been paying enough attention yet. Now I don't even need to look at Aster Coin. 91% of the tokens are held by one entity. So I'm not. I've seen too many people pumping it up on TikTok to where I'm not even interested. I did a little research on the wallet holdings, and yeah, it's no different than some of the others, but like 91% is held by one wallet. So markets are trolling hard. We all expected big thing September, so I didn't expect shit in September. Nah, we all didn't expect it, Nick. I expected the red in September. I've been calling it for a long time. And, you know, even with the red, I'm still ahead of the market pushes up like on Saturday. It's not that I'm not, you know, it's not that I'm not in tune with these micro movements as well. I told everybody Saturday, everybody should go back and watch that, because I said, hey, at least today I'm coming on bullish, but that doesn't mean it changes my narrative. It's just in the micro. I didn't expect anything in September. Not one iota. I expected exactly what we've seen in September. I was hoping for worse. Because now October, as everybody calls it, can just be it can be one of two things. We can have a fall down in the beginning and end of September, beginning of October. Or, I guess when you say we, though, that would not just be us. That would be retail in general, because I am retail. So, you're right about that, Nick, the more I think about it in my head. Because a lot of people did expect it to go up. I've been fighting with my own audience for the whole month of September on why you shouldn't be buying a dip that's not the real dip. Actually, I've been fighting with my audience since December or January when I sold out. And we've had minor trades on like ZBEC and MXC and some others up and down. But as far as like buying the long hold, I've been begging the audience to pay better attention. And now, yeah, it's coming to a range where, sure, it's way down from where it was at in January. I mean, I'm going to acknowledge that firsthand. But you've got, if you're buying right now, my point is, if you're buying right now, you're buying right now. You're buying to hold through alt season. So if this is the spot for you, by all fucking means, buy alt season. But my question again would be, if you're going to buy XRP at 289.5, what was the hesitation at 262? Because if you're buying it here and you didn't buy it at 262, what you're telling me is you're buying because you have a fear of missing out once again. That's the only problem I have right now of buying it now. If you didn't buy it back here or back here on September 22nd at 269, what in God's green earth is making you buy it at 290? Why? Is it because you're seeing the positive momentum? Because if you were going to buy it, the back test, it hit it perfectly. Or is it just because you've seen it gone up 8%? Like, I'm honestly curious. Because it teaches a lot about market psychology to not just me and you, but to the new people in the market. Because I used to do the same thing. Would never buy the red. I always buy the green. Psychologically, I'm not supposed to buy the red. And when it's green, my psychological mindset, your endorphins, everything seems to flow in a weird way. So, yeah, that's all. I know, Nick, not literally. Let's see. Maybe someone just entered the crypto market and there's no other option other than to buy now. I don't know, maybe rookies. That's still not a reason to buy into the crypto market. Not owning crypto and wanting to be in the market is not a valid reason to buy crypto. It's not. Now, if it's in the positioning you want, and you want to own that crypto and you've done your research and you understand what's going on, well, yes. But I agree with you that most people don't know anything. They enter the market, can't even read a chart. Imagine going to work and not even knowing how to do your job and getting paid. The odds of that happening and not getting fired are zero. You're going to get fired and you're not going to get paid after a while. So think about it in crypto. If you don't know how to read a chart and you don't understand finance or economics or what's going on in the world of money, you're going to end up having zero. That's how it works. That's why they love luring people into crypto. Come make a bunch of money in crypto. Come make all this money in crypto. And they want the rookies of the rookies to come into the biggest risk asset of them all. You know why? They don't need us for the pumps, guys. They try to tell us all the time. All the time, you're buying in because you're going to be the push that helps push this over the top. Absolutely not. Retail does not control price movements. What retail does is allows holding points. So when and this is my opinion, the bigger players, like the institutions, the whales, the ones who have large sums of money that are on the in, governments, especially governments are at the top of this list. FYI, governments are the biggest whales and institutions. They are the governments. Remember, the institutions that are buying crypto are getting tax incentives to put common shares into the stock market and their own companies to buy the crypto, and they get write-offs for it. This can only end one way, folks. It's not real money being pushed in. It's all paper. It's all liquid. It's all illiquid, I should say. But we're exit liquidity, and what I mean is all of retail doesn't push the price up. They give you the false, hey, you guys are pushing up, retail's buying in. No. When retail buys in, their exit liquidity most times, because retail's buying now instead of buying with me in 22 when it was right, or 23 when it was at the right time, or that gift we got in 24. Retail didn't want to buy then. Retail wants to buy now. God damn it, I don't own XRP, but I want to buy it at 290, but I wouldn't buy it at 34 cents. That's the mindset. That's the go fuck yourself mindset. That's what I get told all the time. Go fuck yourself, Tom. Like, we want to be in crypto now. Well, too bad. If you want to be in crypto now, expect some volatility and a lot of lost money. That's just the bottom line. Until we get to the proper areas, or until you have the mindset, I can hold it, that's the problem. And I told everybody to buy Band at 65 cents. And guess what? We had that rally. And unfortunately, with what happened with BitUnix, I had to sell my Band and then move it around. And I haven't got back to moving it around and rebuying all of the stuff. But we bought Band at 65. and it went all the way up to $1.30, $1.40. And guess what? I told everybody not to buy band, and if anything, take your profit out of it, because I think it's going to go to 55, maybe lower. And guess what happened? Everybody was buying it at $1.10, $1.20, $1.30. Like, you can't make it up. It happens all the time, and I'm glad Syrian said that. And I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. Like, this is how we're going to lose money if we do it wrong. And I'm not saying it can't go up 50% from here, because it absolutely could. But you have to ask yourself, if I'm buying it right now and I was watching the market when things were 90% cheaper, what am I doing? Why wasn't I buying it then? Why am I buying it now? So that's always going to be the big thing. And I apologize to some of the new ones, because I know you immediately left when you came in and said, well, the hell with this. And that's okay, because you'll come back later. It happens all the time. Let's see. No new members of Tom's Army. That's okay. I wish more members would join Tom's Army, but that's not the cycle flow we're in right now. I've lost a good 10% of my members of Tom's Army. Even though we've been right about the market movements and it saved people a lot of money, it gets reciprocated at weird times. But yeah, I mean, I think it's worth the pay it forward mentality. Get the Telegram and enjoy the free content. After all, it's the members who allow this. In the beginning, it was me, but it's the members who allow it. You guys have the same mindset as I do. Everybody needs to see this. See, and I understand the mindset of just gotten in years ago and just holding. I do. I don't like that mindset, but I understand it. I do. It depends. It just depends. I don't mind buying in at a market cycle low in a bear market and then understanding to take profits in a market top. That's different. And obviously, I don't think we've likely gotten there yet, because we haven't even hit a real alt season. XRP is an alt season consolidation, if you don't know. XRP is in the heart of alt season. Not most of them though. Like Bitcoin's an alt season. Well, it's not an alt, but it would be technically in its bull season. Solana would be in its alt season. Chainlink's already started in a big way its alt season. You know, there's some that have already started big alt seasons right now. XRP, big one. You know, IOTA, big time bear market. Algo, big time bear market. XLM, from the top, you could say big time bear market. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
All right.
$30.
That's it? Oh, that's the state ID, right? All right, watch out, baby boy. Ready?
Is he having fun watching
He
you?
is watching Grandma.
I'm glad. Jorge, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for 1 year now. Wow. With the I told you so badge. That's excellent. And also very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Said just got in late, been one heck of a harvest season. I've been absent, but still here in heart. I watch all the updates and cuts the end of some lives. Everyone hit that like button and subscribe. Oh, thank you so much for that, Jorge. Thank you so much. No, Syrian, you're doing just fine. You're doing just fine, because you've also been able to buy dips too, and you don't just sit pat. I think you understand the market more than you're giving yourself credit for. People do seek hopium. There is no doubt about that. There is no doubt about that. No, lots of coins are still 90 to 95% from their all-time high. Perfect examples, IOTA. Perfect examples, Algo. You know, VeChain, ZIL, XDC is half off still. HBAR is up a little bit from its bottom, obviously at 5 cents. But look at all of this. This doesn't give me vibes of, oh, this is fine. It just doesn't. This is, I mean, when you start to see the other part of this, you can't make this up. You can't make up gold's up. What do you think gold's going up for? This is all countries buying. Retail is at an all-time low buying. You should listen to Mike Maloney and Peter Schiff, the ones who own gold exchanges where you can buy precious metals. Their buyers are at all-time lows right now. They couldn't give it up. Countries, big purchases are being bought. The retail isn't buying money. They're buying crypto. So this entire year, they've watched crypto go down 70% from December, 60%, 50%, 30%, just depending on whatever. While they've watched the mining stocks go up over 100%, gold and silver go up. On the year, silver's up almost 60% on the year. Gold's approaching, what is it now on the year, for fuck's sake? Every time I say it, it just goes higher. So, look, big bull flag. Looks like it's going to pull us up to my own personal target. That's Barrett Gold, but that is working its way. I mean, this is incredible what we're seeing. And I thought we could come up to 4111, 4100, and then try to back test if we're going to have a back test. Maybe it does this sense. But I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Because we get so much bullish stuff for gold and silver and so much bearish stuff for crypto, even though they give it the illusion of gold and silver, it's bearish for it and it's bullish for... I've been in these markets for too long. All this nonsense in crypto is bearish. I don't care what anybody says. Regulations is bearish in 28. That's bearish. And I can tell you for a fact, I didn't come into crypto for regulations. I came into crypto for a deregulated market because I was sick of the stock market, aside from mining stocks. Now they're bringing the same stupid... Look, 45% up since the beginning of the year now for gold. 45%. While we're talking about most cryptos are down over 2/3 since the start of the year. Can't make it up. They act like it's your golden ticket. It's not. The golden ticket's real money. Gold and silver. Hence the golden ticket. The silver throne. And silver on the year, let's not even get started. After a cup and handle that's been going on for 31 years or 35 years, the cup, and a handle that's been going on for 15 years, you would think we'd be more excited. But remember, guys, what we've been taught, crypto is the only game in town, right? Crypto is the only game in town. In April, you could have got in on the low, but we're going to go from the start of the year. So, start of the year, silver's up 61% now. Gold's up 45, 46, silver's up 61. From our buying opportunity with the silver stacking videos, we went anywhere between 22 all the way down to 18, all the way up to 26, I believe I was doing it and telling people to buy. And you could have bought longer, but that was my window when I was buying a ton. That's gone up 155% since we started buying silver. I've been buying silver since back in 2020 on this low down at $11.09, well, about 12 bucks. And I bought it everywhere in between. I bought it through this whole consolidation and down, through this whole consolidation until the breakout past 26, 27. I think the highest I bought was 27. And then I wanted to flip into mining stocks, and I am so happy I did. Weekly's breaking out, even though, like I've said, I know we're overbought, but what ends up happening when you have the right conditions, you can stay in overbought for years and years, just like these commodities stayed in the oversold for decades and never broke out like they're trying to now. We're in an unprecedented time. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm going to go. I'm going to make sure my son's doing good. If possible, I'll be back tonight. I just don't know because he's not, he's the way he's been feeling. Holy crap. Mr. Stott, thank you so much for a $19.99 donation. Also in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty Dollars Crypto News. And then a second one. So two $19.99 donations. I'm going to say the second one from Mrs. Stott. So Mr. and Mrs. Stott, thank you so much. Since I know we share our finances, just like me and Julie, it's open to both. Doesn't matter who's earning. If she's out earning you or if you're out earning her, it's all in the middle. And you gotta have an open and honest dialogue too. That's the key. That's the key. And thank you for the super duper chat. I really appreciate that. See, Mr. Stott, what we did there, we gave credit to Mrs. Stott. Now you're in the good way. I don't know why that sent twice, but fuck it. Because Mrs. Stott wanted you to send one. See? She said one from me, one from you. Makes it easy to do it on the same account. I thank you for that, Mr. Stott. That was the Lord telling you that he's going to use you to monetize my live this time. Oh, it's so funny. But then again, think of it this way. We made our monies back in metals, right, Mr. Stott? So, but I really do appreciate it. And honestly, don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, Yahweh, Yahshua, our higher power, God Almighty himself. And like I've always said, even if we don't believe the same in religion, because some people in here are going to believe in Muhammad and Allah and all these others, Buddha, and because I do this to like almost, I think it's over 70 countries now. The bottom line is we all believe in a higher power. And if you're part of the abundance for all mindset, instead of abundance for I, and you want to transformatively help others, don't bag on somebody else's religion. Just understand they're trying to look for that higher power as well. At the end of the day, if we all are looking to be brought back to our guider, our Lord and Savior, our creator, we're all going to find our way in a interesting time, because not everything we're being told is true. But if we understand the higher power, we're going to be found. So be blessed, everybody.